Okay.
You doing okay? All right.
Yeah.
Can we give you a minute?
Thank you. Thank you.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Can somebody please check on Rickey? That's Rickey Smiley. He broke down in tears on live. Many people believe that he's upset from all the controversy between him and fellow comedian Katt Williams. We're about to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. As you all know, Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe recently broke the internet when the comedian made an appearance on Shannon's podcast. Katt didn't waste any time. He immediately addressed Rickey Smiley's comments that he previously made when he sat down with Shannon in 2023.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving Santa Claus.
Right, and then, yeah, because Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, you know, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham, came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending where they got the fighting or whatever. The ending was me giving out, Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended, so they changed the ending.
Right.
So I had to come back.
So Rickey told his story, but you had Katt who said it wasn't true.
This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Rickey Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Rickey Smiley can't act because Rickey Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man you stole that.
You stole the show in Friday After Next.
Yeah.
Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was.
Sir, no one, why no? He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and what?
So
Rickey Smiley knows this. And I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie. But I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days?
I realized that a lot of what Katt Williams said was in response to a question or something previously said about him on other platforms, or like in this case on the same platform. Katt was just circling back around and responding to everybody one by one, laying them all out. It was so bad that within 24 hours, most of these guys responded. Rickey Smiley went on a syndicated radio show to address Katt Williams and insisted that the Friday After Next role was initially his.
Internet going crazy. Comments that Katt Williams made. But if I can't speak on behalf of the other comedians, but the only thing I can speak for is myself. Katt made some comments on Shannon Sharpe's show about when I was on Shannon Sharpe was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, man, hey, man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But
and see, this is the part where Rickey is continuing to put himself into some mess. If you shot the scene for All About the Benjamins, but your scene wasn't there for the final edit of the movie, then what you're saying is you shot for the movie, but you're not credited for it because your scene wasn't actually in the movie. He's kind of embellishing stories, or maybe just using the wrong words, but that's what got him into this mess in the first place.
Then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharp's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a kid type of character that was
right.
And that part right there is what they will all agree on. So that part is definitely the truth.
So I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that. And I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to L.A., they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus. And here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to L.A. together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. We really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that was literally Katt's first movie. Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Katt Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, the rest, as they say, was history. But, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt, you were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I end up being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast, so
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that was the.
I just wanted to clarify that, and then there was no contract ever that. In agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time, and they was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and you know, and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant. And that was a lot of fun. Right. And it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Katt. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this. But, you know, That's the truth, and I don't know what else to say. So there it is.
There's not much else to say. You know, it's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, "Wow, that's absolutely amazing." But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time. And then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, Katt, what's up? Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, come over and have a cup of coffee with me, because he was walking over to Starbucks, and I went over. And he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, hey, man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan. He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150, and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, keep doing what you're doing, young man. My granddad was living at the time. It was just me and my granddaddy in the truck. And we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it. And I thought that we were good. I didn't know that we had any issues. And if there are any issues, or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize. And I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. You know, that's just the honest to God truth. And I did audition for what I auditioned for, and I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this, because you know, comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine, Richard Pryor played some roles on his show, Jamie Foxx played Wanda, Martin played Shanae, I did Bernice Jenkins, Tyler Perry did Madea. There's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it, you know. That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because I grew.
It's a prop. It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a way to get a laugh. I mean, back in Shakespeare's time, there were no females playing females' role. Every female role was played by a man.
And who cares about what they did in Shakespeare? That didn't make sense anyway. Why wouldn't a female play the female role? The truth is, maybe it was acceptable at a time to a certain group of people and everybody laughed, but now since all of these agendas have been exposed and more people are seeing how weird Hollywood is, people are more conscious of Western culture's emasculation of men and how they've used Hollywood for years to program the masses. And no matter what this guy on the phone is saying about it, it doesn't change that we all know what's going on now.
You know, it's just part of it's part of an art form. It's part of what makes it funny. You bring the funny to it. I wish that I'm sure you remember. People don't know about this. The pilot that you shot for the Kings of Comedy TV show, Bernice Jenkins had a whole sketch with Medea.
Yeah,
People
I did a
don't
sketch
even
with Medea, me, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Niecy Nash. We did a thing called The Pew. It's supposed to be like The View, but it was a church-based version of The View, and it was just comedy great to see Bernice Jenkins, the character, and Medea. And I started off doing Bernice Jenkins doing prank phone calls on the Buck Wild Morning Show in Birmingham.
Oh yeah, those Rickey Smiley prank calls from back in the day, hilarious.
Which spinned into, hey, I think you should do a character. This would be a great character for this role. So we were all in our 30s, late 20s, doing what we had to do in order to be successful. Now that we are older, I'm comfortable in my job in radio. I'm comfortable in the roles that I get and the things that I get to do. And I just finished a phenomenal comedy special. So the statement about Rickey Smiley is not funny. I've been sold out since '97.
That part.
Every single show I have done since '97, maybe not big arenas, but I pack up those theaters and have to add shows in comedy clubs. And between radio and all of that and raising a family, I'm comfortable with. What makes me sad, I don't like the way that made my kids feel, and that's why I'm not gonna, go after him, because he has kids and family members and nieces and nephews also, and it hurts our family members and people that do love us when we say hurtful things about each other. So we want to wish Katt Williams the best.
So because it's Katt Williams' Rickey Smiley disagreement centered around Friday After Next, everybody was all ears when Ice Cube, who wrote and produced the movie, came out and responded to the controversy.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. Everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. First of all, I just want to say, we shot that movie over 20 years ago, so people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, I look at from Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, Rickey Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. All these guys I know are funny as hell. I didn't discover them. They were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that if I have an opportunity, I was gonna give them an opportunity. To me, that's what it's all about. As far as specific things, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Rickey did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. Katt, said he wrote his role, which, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. Money Mike had a small role, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role and giving him more to do because he was on point. You know, when we shoot these movies, you know, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, you know, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. You know, when somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie.
Now, a lot of people heard this and believe Ice Cube was confirming that Katt Williams was telling the truth about the Money Mike part, but Rickey Smiley and his team obviously heard something different because they released a snippet of Ice Cube's response, and the title was Ice Cube confirms my story about getting cast on Friday After Next. Apparently, Rickey and his team heard something different from what the rest of us heard because he thought Ice Cube was confirming what he said when Ice Cube really was confirming what Katt Williams said. I don't know, but the audience just didn't hear what they heard. According to Ice Cube, Rickey Smiley never had the part. Although he auditioned for the role along with hundreds of other comedians, he did not get the role according to Ice Cube. And Rickey Smiley was stressed out by all of it and broke down on live. You had some people on IG trying to say, oh, that was from a long time ago. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. Right there, he's inside the break room, the coffee room of the radio station in Miami. And before he got to the radio station that morning, when he was on his way driving to work, here's that video right there, put out the same day. For the people who didn't catch this when it happened, there's the same jacket, t-shirt, and hat. So this whole thing about, oh, the video is old, that's a lie. So what was Rickey really breaking down about? What's really going on is Rickey was already stressed out and depressed, trying to grieve his son, whose death anniversary is coming up at the end of the month. And this Katt Williams situation added 10 times more stress to an already stressful situation. However, I am glad that Rickey is getting therapy. That's what he's doing right now while he's working from Miami. But back to this whole disagreement. We've heard from everybody, Katt, Rickey Smiley, his ex-manager, as well as Ice Cube. And basically, you either believe Rickey Smiley and you believe Ice Cube and Katt Williams, they're not telling the truth, or you believe Katt Williams and Ice Cube and you think Rickey Smiley isn't telling the truth. Let me know what you think below in the comments. Who's telling the truth here? What was it really about what Katt Williams said that got everybody stressed out? Because Rickey isn't the only one. Shout out to my sister Tanette. I appreciate you, Tanette, for all of your support, as well as Tony, Randy, and Big Sneed 76. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving Santa Claus.
Right, and then, yeah, because Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he, what?
So
Rickey Smiley knows this, and I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie.